Hi, and welcome back to Accidental Thoughts. I'm Jason.
I'm Jimmy.
You're the Tic Tac today.
I'm a Tic Tac. All right. Great. I'm a Tic Tac. I don't even know why I said that.
I don't know, but it works.
There ain't
You're
even
a
a Tic
Tic Tac
Tac on
today.
my desk, right? I don't know where I come up with that stupid word Tic Tac all of a sudden.
Does it make you a bite-sized snack today instead of a little
I
snack?
don't know, man. Maybe the air is thinner here. I don't know.
Always a possibility where we're at.
Possibility. There's a possibility.
Hmm.
Well, today is going to be kind of a weird, eventful little conversation. At first I kind of thought about the fact of, President's Day, and I said, nah, there are some interesting facts about it, but, nothing really, just, don't get me wrong, nothing that that everybody probably knows or whatever, but we're coming up in about 3 weeks, from now, we have daylight saving time, not savings. If there was ever a common ground that the former president and the current president would share, is the fact of the process of trying to eliminate daylight saving time. But the funny thing about it is that a lot of people seem to think that daylight saving time was something that was, invented basically for farmers or, Ben Franklin or whatever, but when found out it's not. It was a energy saving tactic back in I think it was like the early 1900s, I think it was, 1918 or whatever.
I want to say it was right around World War I.
Yes.
And they were saving energy for the war production effort.
And even then, there was discussion. I mean, Ben Franklin did have a proposal about it because at one time I think he did live in France at one time, and that he thought of the idea of, daylight saving time because of the fact of saving wax because of candles. It would save
saving
wax. Yeah. I guess there was a lot of wax sale back then. We're beyond that now.
Well, I mean, you got to think Ben Franklin's time, we really didn't. He's the one who supposedly discovered electricity, with his kite.
Maybe that's why he was like, I need to come up with something. I'm using up all this wax.
Quite possible.
Maybe
it'd be interesting to ask him when
yeah. Which was it? Why'd you do it? But anyway, It's interesting that, even today, it's more of a hindrance, I guess you could say, the fact of, trying to get acclimated to the fact of the way, time runs. But another thing about it that was interesting to me at the same time I was reading about that, that back in ancient times, they said that they basically set their days on 12 hours day, 12 hours night, 12 hours day, 12 hours night. There was no shift of anything. It was just, this is what it is. This is what it is. And it was pretty interesting to read that. Plus the fact, do you remember when Y2K was like a big deal going around?
Oh, yeah. Planes are going to fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
And,
everything's going to stop. Everything's going to end. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, that's when I guess I first learned about the fact that somehow or another we gain or we lose like 0.08 seconds or something every year or something, or something to that effect.
Yeah, it comes out to a full day over the course of 4 years, which is why we have a leap.
We lose it. Yeah, because they say
we
that
have a leap year now. That extra day
because
we
the
lose.
planet is turning slower. So if you were looking to get more time, you're getting it.
Right. Yeah. Well, and here's the other side of that too, where you've heard about the 13-month calendar,
right?
Or whatever it's supposed to be, with October, I mean,
Oc-
what month is October? Yeah, but what
October.
month is October? 10th month
Unfortunately, it's the
in
10th,
our
but
current. But at one point in
October
time,
would
it
be
was the,
would be 8.
yeah, and at one time it was. You can go back through history. I don't remember what country it is. There's still a country out there that uses that calendar. Um, but I recently started diving into it. Yeah, and it's pretty interesting too. If we did that, would we still have to do the daylight savings as well?
I don't know why we do it now. I mean, what is it? All it does
I don't
is
know, but what's
you
funny?
sit there scratching your head 2 times a year trying to go, wait a minute. I fall behind, spring for wait, no.
Yeah, spring forward and fall back. Yep. Now, what's funny? You do know that in 2022, they passed in the House, or I'm sorry, in the Senate,
Oh
the
yeah.
Sunshine Protection Act,
Correct.
2021,
Right.
and it wasn't passed in the House, which
Right.
is why we're not on permanent daylight savings time.
Right. But at the
Which
same
means they want us
time,
to spring
in
forward and
December,
say,
Trump said he was going to eliminate it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why it didn't pass the House, but it passed the Senate to begin with. It's like, this is something that, like you said, should be unifying among the parties. It's like nobody likes daylight savings time ever.
Think of it this. What got me was the fact I was actually looking at a global map, and it's the fact that the Northern Hemisphere, with the exception of areas, they use daylight saving time, and Southern Hemisphere does
Really?
not. Yeah, I was looking at that, and what was even
Interesting.
stranger was there are portions of the United States, like there was a place in Indiana or something recently until 20 years ago or something, okay, we'll do it. And I'm like, okay,
Yep.
how does
Well,
that
and
work?
Hawaii is
Yeah.
one, and Arizona is another that don't observe
Mhm.
daylight savings.
So if
Why
anybody's
do
looking to
we?
gain another hour of their life, make a trip.
Yep. Well, actually, here's the thing, though. The act that they were putting in would make it permanent daylight savings time,
Right.
as opposed to it'd be the spring forward time, not the fall back time,
Right.
which means it would be 9 o'clock right now locally, as opposed to
Think
8 o'clock.
about it. If it wasn't, it don't matter. Sun's up, means time to go to work. Sun's down.
Exactly,
Okay.
and that's part of the industrialization of America, and
Right.
apparently other countries now in the northern hemisphere, is that it came time that unlike farming, farmers are up at the crack of dawn no matter what time of day it is. They're up working their fields, working their crops,
Yeah.
whether those crops be plants or animal.
Correct.
They've always worked from sunup to sundown.
Right.
Guys like you and me are these days, because we live in the modern world, are up when it's time to get our kids on the bus, regardless of daylight or not.
Yep. We farm children.
Yeah, we farm children,
We farm
literally.
We farm children.
Well, we do cultivate them to go out into this crazy world we live in.
Yeah. So would my kid be like?
You can say what.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, I wonder about one of mine.
Yeah. You'll
Good
get
news
around
is
it.
I don't
You'll
have to
get to
worry
both of them.
Well, no, the one I worry about is the younger one. The older one, he's all right. He's doing good.
But no, like I said, see this, it was never, daylight savings time was never really, it was, well, we'll try it. Yeah, we won't. Yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, we won't. It's like, okay, if it was iffy to begin with, it's like, why are you still trying to do this? I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. Well, I could tell you honestly, and the instance where it was actually put into place made sense. They were saving candles and saving energy, and they were saving that energy for the war effort. And it was kind of a patriotic thing to do, which is, it's hard to get anybody to do patriotic things anymore.
Right.
just because of the wokeness and all that that's in our environment here in America.
I don't even
And,
know what that is.
Yeah, well, I unfortunately, because I'm on social media more than you,
Yeah.
I'm exposed to it every day on both ends of the spectrum. Yeah.
All I see
You got
is
people who
I
are
woke up this morning. I
anti-woke.
woke up.
Exactly. Yeah. I am awake currently.
So instead of the woke, we could be like the wake deal.
The awake. Well, I've heard the comparison actually made to being woke or to being awake, being the difference
Awake.
between the left political spectrum and the right. And both terms are just silly to me. But we do live in a daylight savings time of people these days.
Yes. Don't know what they're saving, but I don't know what they're
Not much
saving, but
anymore.
no. You know what we could have done? We could have just asked Phil. Phil would have told us, right? Phil could have told us.
Yeah.
Punxsutawney.
I mean,
He
he's
would have
lived through
told
it
us.
all.
He would have. He would have known exactly what to say when we needed to hear it, right then and there.
Exactly. But you forgot to get him his Valentine's Day gift, so forget about it.
I'll think about him in a month from now. St. Patrick's Day is coming.
There you go. I'll toss one back for him and wear my green because I'm an American.
Wait a minute. I just
Wait,
thought
that's
of something
Irish.
though.
No, what?
St. Patrick. Okay. You said last episode, you had said that your steak and nobble day was on the 14th of March.
Steak and Nova.
Yeah, on the
14th of
14th
March.
of March. St. Patrick's Day is the 17th. Is it the 17th every year? Or is it just that month? And why is it
I
always
have
a
no idea.
Monday? I don't get it.
Oh, because that's when we officially observe it, and you get the day off for being drunk this time.
Why on a Monday? That's like the worst day.
Why not a Friday? I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, the only Friday holiday we really get is Black Friday. You know?
Yeah.
And that's like,
Even that.
that's
Why Monday? Why is it a Monday? Is it?
don't know.
Oh, you're going to recoup? Yeah, but you have a holiday. Like the one you were talking about. Let's see if that's on Monday. That would be 17th, 16th. Okay, you said that would be on a Friday. Your day that you talked about. Yeah, steak and knobber day. It falls on a Friday. That makes sense.
Steak and Nova Day, you say?
It's on a Friday. That makes sense. Valentine's Day was on a Friday. Hey, makes sense.
Exactly.
But to sit there, but no, you're going to put all these like Halloween. If you're going to goof all these other ones up and put them on a Monday, why?
Right.
What parent wants to stay out late, picking up candy with their kids on a Tuesday?
Well, that happens every year. Every year,
Yeah.
Halloween changes what day of the week it's on, and yeah, it does suck having kids come to your door on a Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
And
Turn the light off.
Trick or treat.
It's like, but don't get me wrong. I mean, there are some holidays, 4th of July makes sense, but Thanksgiving, it's always a Thursday,
Always the third Thursday.
But always a
November.
Thursday.
Yep.
Christmas, any day, doesn't matter, makes sense. Boom.
Yep.
But this is St. Patrick's Day, Monday. Monday? Why? Why a Monday? You say St. Patrick's Day, you automatically think to yourself beer, or you think the Irish.
Green lemonade.
Exactly. It's like, and you sit there going, on a Monday? Really? I mean, I don't know.
Well, to make it worse, St. Patrick's Day isn't even an American holiday. It's kind of like down here, they celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and for most Americans, it's just an excuse to get drunk.
Well, it's like
half the people. Do you know what St. Patrick's Day is actually? Do you know what St. Patrick's Day is actually celebrating?
No.
The
I was going to look it up
St.
later.
Patrick himself drove the snakes out of Ireland.
And did they come here or something, or Why are we? Why do we?
No idea. That's the whole thing. That's my thing. Just like Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day.
Right.
You know,
But do we celebrate that, or I mean, or is that just a holiday?
there are plenty of people
Well, I
here
know
that
that.
celebrate it that are not part of the Hispanic culture.
But I'm just
Is
saying,
yeah, I guess that's what say it.
is it here? I mean, is it like celebrated here? I
Yes,
mean,
is listed. I mean, they come out with
is it
ads
really?
celebrating
I'm
Mayo in
gonna
the
look.
U.S.
No, I gotta look. You got me. Now I'm curious.
Jimmy's got a phone.
Jimmy doesn't know how to use his phone. Holy crap, Cinco de Mayo is on here. Look at that. I'll be.
Huh?
So let me ask this. Since you got it pulled up on your screen there, because I forgot to pull it up on mine. Why is it always 2 a.m. for daylight saving time? Why is it 2 a.m.?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Thought you had it up there.
I didn't have that up.
Yeah. It's always, why 2 a.m.? What the heck? Who's going to be up at 2 a.m.?
Convenient middle
Hey!
ground between midnight when changing the clocks would require the date switching back to the previous day, and later in the morning when early shift workers and churchgoers might be affected. It was a happy medium so that you wouldn't have to change the date on the older clocks. You remember them little clocks with the numbers
Right.
that flipped over and the date on them? Yeah, if you waited till 2 a.m. and you were going back to 1 a.m., you didn't have to worry about hitting midnight and changing the date again. That's why 2 a.m. I did not know that till just now.
I didn't know either because I was curious as to why 2 a.m. I
Considered
don't
the
care.
least disruptive.
Well, I do it before I go to bed. I'm like, don't care. It'll be fine when I wake up.
Right? Well, and I think that's why it's middle of night. But originally, it was set at 2 a.m. for the fact that you wouldn't have to change the date when you rolled back.
So why is it
If you did at 1
always?
a.m., then you'd be midnight,
Is it
which would
always
technically
the
still be.
first Sunday of March, and then the first Sunday of November?
No, actually, I've seen it go as late as April in
What?
a couple of years. I swear it's gone as late as April,
I
first
remember.
week
I
in
think we
April.
talked about this one time where we were kind of like,
Yeah.
I think we talked about it
It
one
was
time.
jumping all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I was like, why? What crackhead is regulating this?
Well, that would
Sure
be the
ain't the
crackhead
Doge.
government. Just saying. All of our crackhead government, man, they're the ones that regulate. You know what? This year, we're just fuck with people and send them daylight savings time on April 21st.
The
But that's
Doge
a
wouldn't
Wednesday.
do that.
So what? Huh?
The
What's that?
Doge wouldn't do that.
No, the Doge is going to make it efficient. It's going to
Efficient.
be one day, no matter what day of the week it
Yeah.
is.
We're going to put it on a
You're going to go to bed on a
Thursday at
Tuesday night
3
after working
p.m.
late, up Wednesday,
Gear
and it's
up.
going to be an hour early.
Specifically for those
Uh,
ones that are required to take a 30-minute break.
all right.
Anarchy, I tell you. It's anarchy.
Exactly.
Oh, sure. That's something that might need to
On the
go away.
second
Maybe
Sunday in
OSHA can
March
go away.
is what it is.
It's
It's
the
actually
what?
the second Sunday in March, the standard.
Right.
The standard is the second Sunday in March. But I
But it's the
swear we've had some times when it's gone as late as like the first weekend of April
right.
at some point.
I don't know. I'm still saying
Um,
Punxsutawney Phil should have been alerted about this.
should have been, yes.
But Moonshine would have had to translate it for us.
Yeah, well, no, Moonshine wasn't the one that talks to him. He provides the
Moonshine was
elixir,
somebody else. That's right.
the magical elixir that's made him.
Yeah,
Here.
some other dwarf or squirrel or whatever it was. Anyway,
Yeah.
one of them seven dwarfs that did it. I don't know who it was.
I
Bill,
don't
the
know.
seven dwarfs.
I don't think you can replace the Bill Murray version, especially when he grabs Phil and runs off with
Yeah,
him.
takes off.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I said,
let's Phil drive.
I mean, that I don't know. I mean, they only have it in the northern hemisphere. They do it in, I think, in New Zealand. I think is where it actually started or whatever, and then Germany does it. But China doesn't do it or something like that. But I don't know.
Right.
It's just weird how it's selective. It's just
Yeah,
selective.
exactly. And
It doesn't matter.
it also goes to show it also goes to show with Arizona and Hawaii not observing it, it goes to
Yeah.
show that it is in fact a states' right issue. So why haven't more states jumped on that and said we're not going to do that? Whereas,
Right.
I mean, you think about it, it's a perfect example of federal government versus states' power. Your state power is much stronger than the federal government's power, but most people don't know that. I mean, this is why those of us on this side, when Roe versus Wade was overturned, were like, yay. You know, it's not just about being able to murder your baby. It's about you having a voice personally in whether or not that's okay in your state. You know,
I always, when I was a kid,
and I know that's a subject for a lot of people, but
right,
it
right, right.
it so the states' rights are much stronger for you and me, the individual, versus the federal government controlling things.
But that's the thing. Even today, I mean, if we can sit here and come up with a way to, you know, do away with it. What's funny is that back, like I said, back in the 40s, I think it was, yeah, we'll try it. Nah, we won't. And then they finally fully implemented it like in 1970 or something like that, or whatever. It's just like, make up your mind. And when I was, when I was growing up, even, I always I didn't understand it. I always thought it was a weather thing. It was just the fact of weather. It's getting cooler and then it was getting hotter. It was getting cooler and it was getting hotter. And I thought maybe it's just so you could have more time outside during the summer. You'd have more daylight. The time would be more efficient for your awakeness and stuff. But
Right. Well,
either way,
our bodies are known to go in a rhythm with the sunlight. For instance, it doesn't matter how many blackout curtains you got. If you've got sunlight coming into your room in the morning, you naturally wake up. It doesn't matter if you just went to bed, whatever. Generally
right.
speaking, you're going to wake up if the sunlight's hitting your body because your body's wired that way. Um,
You know what?
the whole thing is, what are we saving the daylight for?
Really? You know what? Look it up. Look this up. I meant to. I should have asked, but I'm sure he could have told me. Rodrigo could have told me, and I forgot.
Okay.
I was going to ask. In Brazil, did they have? Do they have daylight savings time? That's in the southern hemisphere, isn't it? Or that's like, I mean, that's close to the
It is
equator.
in the southern. It
Yeah,
is the southern.
but there was another nation to the south of the equator that did something with it. I should have asked
Brazil
him.
does not currently observe daylight savings time. Former president, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, Jair
Good luck.
Bolsonaro abolished daylight savings time in 2019. So they just recently stopped.
So they did
Um,
have it.
now, it said they observed it from 1931 to 33, 49
No.
to 53, 63 to 68, and 85 to 2019. So,
Why
and
is
the
it
most
selective?
recent Don't know. The most recent daylight savings time rule in Brazil applied to southern, southeast, and central west regions of Brazil. And Bolsonaro argued that DST was no longer benefiting the power sector, which is what it was originally intended to do. Yeah, doesn't make sense why we're doing it still.
Yeah.
They're still reconsidering it, weighing the potential energy benefits against public opinion and political consequences. So apparently
Talking
it's a
about an
big deal.
hour.
Yeah,
It's
an
an
hour.
hour.
Yep. And they have 4 time zones
And,
within Brazil as well.
you know what? If it's an energy effectiveness that they keep saying now back way back, I guess we said it was because of candles and energy effectiveness. My question is this: okay, we're in the northern hemisphere. Okay, I guess they're looking in the
Yep.
sense of what? Like heating or
Yeah, they're looking at not heating so much as light bulbs.
okay, light bulbs. Yeah.
Back in the
So
day, it
what?
was candles, and as electricity became more prominent, it was about saving electricity. Because
You
if
mean
you're
tell me they
up
don't have light
at 4
bulbs in the southern hemisphere?
getting ready, you have to turn lights. Huh?
They don't have light bulbs in the southern hemisphere?
They do, but they just realize that where we're at with power production anymore is not a factor between that and the high efficiency bulbs we make all over the world anymore.
Okay, let me
Your
ask
your
this.
little
Okay.
LED uses what 6 watts of electricity per month
I
or
don't
per
know.
hour,
I plug it in, it
opposed
works.
to the
That's all
60
I know.
or 100 you had before. You know, per
When it was
bulb.
incandescent, it was like you could feel the heat off of it. It's like,
You could, and it was because it was a carbon filament being burned as opposed to a tiny little light emitting
right,
diode.
right.
That just
See, like
it still produces a
Alaska,
certain amount of heat, but nothing.
Alaska's in the northern hemisphere, and they have like extreme daylight times and dark times, right? Correct me if I'm
Uh,
wrong. Okay. Brazil is closer to,
Alaska is very, very north though, and their daylight lasts 6 months.
right. I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But Brazil, being close to the equator, probably gets more light. I mean, has more daylight
A
time.
lot more light. Yeah.
Right. What's the energy
During
effect?
each
It's
day.
not a
Yeah.
light bulb deal.
Instead of say your general 12 and 12 like we started at the beginning of the episode, Brazil may have 16 hours of daylight during the middle of
Yeah,
summer.
but it
We don't
wouldn't be.
know. I
Why
don't
would you consider
never look.
reinstating that? For energy? For what?
Yeah. Yeah. People are going to bed. Well, supposedly Brazil has a very rich nightlife, so who
I
knows?
guess. I'll make sure to ask next time. Like,
Yeah, we're
hey,
gonna
what
have to
was the
talk to Rod
nightlife?
about that.
I'm
Rodrigo, this
sure
is
he.
a question for you. If you leave it in a comment on our YouTube channel, we'd love to hear the answer. How many hours of daylight did you get in Brazil in the middle of
Yeah,
summer?
I know one
As
guy could
well
probably tell me.
as as well as was it worth observing daylight savings time? Because from our vantage point here in Texas, it's not really all
No,
that worth it. It doesn't save us anything electricity wise. It doesn't do anything for us because
you
of the
give us
modern
6 minutes in
advancements.
Texas, it doesn't matter. 1 minute it could be 80
Exactly.
degrees and sunny, and then 6 minutes later it's cold and
40
dark.
degrees and windy
Yeah, like
and ready to
it's like
storm.
man, talk about the
For those
bipolar.
of you outside of Texas, we actually have a saying about the Texas weather. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. It'll change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Didn't say would it change if it get better. Just saying it'll change.
oh, will change. Yeah. If you don't like it
It
right
will
now, wait
change.
till it changes. You may or may not like it even
Most
worse.
definitely. Exactly. But I have to admit,
Great example.
daylight savings time needs to go away.
Yes, it does. So, Doge, while you're doing your efficiency checks all over the government,
Do's
why
your
not look
job.
into that?
Do's your
Doge your
job.
job. Yeah. Somebody tag Elon in this one.
Yeah, we'll make some hats. Do's your job.
Exactly. Does your job, man. Does
Do's
your
your
job.
job.
We'll have those merch links up once we figure out who will actually print that for us.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Right?
All
That
right.
might be
Well,
a while, though, folks. You guys got to tell your friends, family, and all that about accidental thoughts.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
And
are
as always, that
contagious.
brings us to the end. I don't know what you're
Not that
talking
kind
about,
of
man.
contagious. That's a different issue for you, buddy.
Yeah, well,
Clean
I got the
shave.
birds hiding up in there,
Yeah. Well, that was good. So till next
that,
time.
that was a good one. Yes. We, and with that, yep, that's all our time for this episode. So once again, I'm Jason.
And I'm still a Tic Tac.
This has been Accidental Thoughts. We'll see you on the next one. one.
Later.